What's up, everyone? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, forgot to put my eye drops in. Normally I do this off screen, but my eyes are way too freaking dry to be going in raw. You know what I'm saying? Uh, what's which tat? This tat? This one? Yeah, I wasn't. Oh, this one. That's a whole other story. That was my first ever tattoo. Tara, thanks for the resubscribe. I appreciate you. Yeah, no, I wasn't. I was very much considering not getting on tonight. I really was. But hey, wow, you know, what am I gonna do? Not come hang out with you guys? If I didn't come and hang out with you guys, what a waste of a haircut. What a waste of a haircut. Just be throwing haircut money away. I don't know what kind of I don't know what economy y'all are living in. Okay, first of all, haircuts are expensive now. Okay, I think about that every single time I pay for a haircut. Every single time I pay for a haircut, I'm like, man, you remember like back, like you get a haircut for like $10, like $15. Like it didn't seem like it was that long ago. Like it truly doesn't. Ryan, how often do I get a haircut? I get one about every 3 weeks. I get one about every 3 weeks or so. Ish, somewhere in there. Yeah, dude, $20 and you could back in my day. Hold on, I gotta wait for that comment to pop up so I can. Where's it at? Oh shoot, it's not gonna pop up because I don't have that enabled. Shoot, I was trying to put Vicky's comment up there. I was trying to put Vicky's comment up there. I screwed it up. Yeah, back in my day, it used to be you could get a haircut and a lollipop for 14 cents. That's where I met. That's where I met old Betsy down at the soda shop. That's where I met old Betsy down at the soda shop. Sorry. Vicky, I want to put your comment up. I forgot to enable my ability to do that on Twitch yet, so my bad. Now, like, dude, like $45, bro. Like $45 for a freaking haircut, bro. Now, granted, well, I think it's actually 55. I'm not sure. He charges me 45 or 55. I don't like. He like changes his mind every time. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, like some days it's like 45, some days it's like 55. I never know what the heck is going on. I just pay the man, but of course he does the beard and the eyebrows. Why? I have to ask that question, dude. When I see men in barbershops and they don't get their eyebrows done, I question them. I question, and if you're out there, I question you also. I don't know what you're doing. It's just hair. Okay? It's just hair. You can have your barber touch up your eyebrows too. Okay? Make them look good. All right? Just being straight up, dude. My barber hits any hair from this part for my hand up, my barber hits it. Everything down, that's on me. Okay? Everything below this line, that's on me. Okay? Everything up, that's my barber. All right. Have your barbers touch up your eyebrows. Okay. If you don't trust your barber to touch up your eyebrows, okay, get a new barber. Okay. Leave old shaky hands. All right. Leave old shaky hands. All right. He gets the trimmers out, dude. He gets the freaking straight razor out on those eyebrows, bro. Friggin' also, if you're I think for everybody, but especially like if you're like brown, okay? I'm just gonna throw this out there. It might sound a little racist. That's okay. Yeah, not really racist, but that's fine. Okay. It might sound a little off. Okay. Just gonna say 2 words. Okay. Puerto Ricans. Okay. Just that's all I gotta say. Just Puerto Ricans. I I at this point won't go to a barber that is not Puerto Rican. Just straight the hell up. Like straight that like just being straight up. just just straight the fuck, dude. They have like a different like thought process behind it, dude. Like the whole idea is just different. Like the way they think about hair and like your haircut, like it's all about like your look. It's like a part of you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like that they hit everything, dude. They don't be playing around with this freaking with this crap. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that's my advice for you guys today. All right, that's my advice for you guys today. So don't say you never got anything from me. You know. Hold on. Did I just see that comment? Oh, I guess I didn't. Yeah, especially if you have curly hair like this, 100%. Especially if you have curly hair like this, 100%. All right, y'all. We're about to get this thing started as people are feeding their way into the live as we're starting to get this thing going. Okay, as we're starting to get this thing going. Thank you guys so much for being here last night. Yesterday was a really rough night for me. I'm not saying everything is so much better today, but it's better with a little more sleep. So that's something, right? I'm sorry. It's the same with a little more sleep. Does that make sense? So I'm a little more energetic today. So that's good. Cause like, just a little bit more, you know. Also, I know I gave you the advice about the face here, okay? But there's some ladies in here that are letting me know manscaping is also okay, guys. Like you got to get everywhere. All right? It's not gay to chap down the forest. You're all right. All right? Just Okay. It's already not like super attractive. Okay. You can at least like help out a little bit. All right. like, like we're already not playing with fire here, boys. All right. So let's do the best we can. All right. All right, y'all. Anyways, sorry. Some of y'all's comments are wild, dude. Some of y'all's comments are wild, dude. Y'all wild. Y'all wild. All right. All right. Anyways, we're about to get into this thing. All right. We're about to get into this thing. I really appreciate y'all being here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for that. I saw that. I appreciate that. Yo, we're about to open up these phone lines, open up this multi-guest request box, open up all this stuff for guests to come in and talk. Rhonda, thank you so much for the $5 cash app. Rhonda says no hairballs. Rhonda says no hairballs. Okay. And Y, who also said I get paid $8,000 a month from Democrats. I don't, but if you got that hookup, hook it up, dude. Hook it up.
It's insane.
All right, we're about to open up these phone lines, get this thing going. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all, if you are a Trump supporter, if you support Trump and you would like to come have a conversation with me, there's two ways that you can get a hold of me. One is through calling the phone number that's either above my head or to, I guess, the left of my head. I have to think backwards on that one. I apologize. And you can call in that way, have a good conversation. And we can talk about why you support Trump. The other way is to join the multi-guest request box. That's another way that you can come up here and talk to me. And we're about to open these things up. If you'd like to support the live, the best way that you can support, suit. That's what I'm saying. Can I also get $8,000 a month? Like if they're offering, I'm in. Okay. I'll do it for half that if the Democrats want to pay me. All right. I'll do it for half that if the Democrats want to pay me. All right. Anyways. If you support Trump, that's the greatest way to get a hold of me. If you'd like to support the live, the best way to support the live, as always, is to hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Those are the best ways to support the live. That lets whatever platform you're on know that, hey, you like this live, you're interacting with this live, chatting in the live, all those sorts of things. Let those algorithms know, like, hey, like, you know, this guy's all right. All right. So your participation in the live is very, very helpful to me and helpful to the conversations that I have and keeping this thing going. If you would like to support even further than that, I do really appreciate that. Also, I do have things like, you know, paid subscriptions and paid members, depending on which platform you're on, and also super chats on YT and my gift goal on TT. So if you'd like to support in any of those ways, that's a great way to do it also. Okay. And we're going to actually start with then. Nev the Disruptor said, Paulie, thank you for the conversation on religion yesterday. I appreciate that. I am flexing my religion conversations a little bit more lately. Okay. I've been trying to get in them. I'm inspired by a friend of mine. Okay. So I'm trying to do my best to get in on those things. So I hope you guys appreciate that. I had lots of comments about my religious conversations and my abortion conversations yesterday. So I hope you guys enjoyed them, even though I was kind of like, to be completely honest with you, half out of it. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I really do. I really do. I had this one person call into me, looks about 15 times. And now that I've opened up the lines, now they're not there. Very weird. It was one of my best. All right. So what you guys are telling me is I'm actually better at this when I haven't like really slept in 2 days and I'm very upset. That's what you guys are saying. You guys are saying like when I'm not at full speed, I'm much better at this. That's pretty much what you're telling me. I see how y'all are. I see how y'all are. Y'all love the hurt. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, what year were you born?
2006.
All right. Who was the president in 2006?
I don't remember. I was born in 2006.
Oh, okay. I don't believe you. Not even a little bit. I don't even kind of believe you. Like there wasn't even like a point in that where I was like, man, maybe this guy is 18. like maybe he was like I didn't even think about it for a second. He did get the math right. That is impressive. I am impressed by that. Some people are really, really bad about that. Okay. Hello? 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 All right, second one down. We're gonna get into a conversation eventually. I promise you guys. All right. There's only so long this goes before we get some people up here that disagree with me. Ed, I think you're right. I think 2006. I believe that was Carter. You are correct. All right. I believe that was Carter. Hello. How are you?
Hey, sir. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
28.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Where's that?
I think the Democratic Party has went too far left, and
Awesome.
the reason why I know this is true is because I've seen a Gallup poll where people are slowly going to the right and independent, not to the far right, but they're going independent. 44%.
Totally cool. What did I ask you?
You said why I vote for Trump, and I told you.
No, I did not ask you why you voted for Trump. I asked you why you support Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
No. So when answering why you currently support a president who's not in an election year, okay. So therefore, he's not running against anybody. Okay. The Democrats have no power in the executive, the judicial, or the legislative branch, right? So the Democrats have nothing to do with anything that's going on right now. Okay. So the question was not why do you dislike Democrats, and it wasn't why did you vote for Trump. It's why do you support Trump right now?
Yeah, I was going to explain that.
Well, sir, I'd like to be very clear that if I have no problem with you explaining that, okay, but I am going to need you to explain that without talking about things that have nothing to do with Trump.
This is a democracy, so it's a lot of the stuff is bipartisan. A lot of stuff is one way, but yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's start with the undocumented immigrants.
Sure.
So I live in Los Angeles, right? And what they've done with undocumented immigrants is egregious, especially in the labor force, right? So, for example, we know undocumented.
If I may ask, who's done with
California?
What California has done with undocumented immigrants?
I just told you, LA is a sanctuary city. I'm talking about California.
I'm just asking.
LA. I'm just saying. I
was asking a clarifying question, sir. I'm not asking.
I just gave you the answer. That's it.
Don't get upset. It's fine. Come on.
So I think there's 3 million undocumented workers in California, right? And we know that the field that they're in are agricultural, farming, hospitality, right? So we know that for a fact.
Agriculture and farming would be the same, but I believe you mean construction.
Construction, yes. Thank you, brother. Mm-hmm. So we know for a fact that when people come over here, undocumented, right? People don't care about the families. They just care about cheap labor, right? America.
Hold on, who's they?
Is built. We're talking about the employers, the people that bring these people over here, which is the Democratic Party.
Hold on. Okay,
but you asked me a question.
No, that's fine. Okay, well, let's be clear. You're right. Employers do, generally like cheap labor, right? That is good for their bottom line. So I won't disagree with you there, right? But I do have to push back when you're talking about the Democratic Party bringing undocumented immigrants
Well,
over
they
here. What do you mean by
incentivize.
that?
They bring these people over here.
How?
Sanctuary cities
What's a sanctuary
incentivize
city mean?
undocumented immigrants. Los Angeles is a
No,
sanctuary
I didn't
city.
ask you for an example. I asked you what a sanctuary city is.
It's a sanctuary. A sanctuary city is a place where a lot of undocumented immigrants migrate to for better opportunities.
Well, actually,
And
according to the census from October to May of October of last year to May of this year, actually people are undocumented immigrants and immigrants in total are actually leaving places like California and actually moving more to places like Texas and Florida where they don't have sanctuary cities. There's actually quite a large mass migration out of places like New York and California and to places like Texas and Florida. Okay, so that's not exactly true. But what I asked you, sir, was what
they're
is a
migrating because they're
sanctuary
getting
city?
exploited and kicked out.
Well,
They're migrating because they're getting exploited by the labor force because they're getting
no,
pennies on the
they're still
dollar
getting
compared to
exploited.
American citizens.
They're still getting exploited
getting
either way.
exploited.
What is the number one draw for for where undocumented immigrants go? What's the number one draw?
You said drop or job?
Draw. Like what draws them there?
Opportunity.
Very correct. Opportunity, right? So work and cost of living would be like two huge things.
Well, I
right?
wouldn't say cost of living because a lot of the places they migrate to, the cost of living is super high. So I don't think it's cost of living.
That's what I'm telling you, sir. Is actually because of the cost of living, right? In
Oh, they
places
said
like
because
California,
of the cost of living, they migrate there. Okay.
sir. Yeah, I'm telling you that because of the cost of living in places like New York and California, right?
Okay.
They are migrating from places like that to places like Texas and Florida. All right, because the cost of living is cheaper and there's more opportunities for work. All right, so your
but
idea
where's
of
the
them
data?
moving to
Because
sanctuary cities isn't very accurate. And again, sir, I was just asking you.
Wait, where's your data though? Because
I can pull
have
that up.
data
That's not a problem. But
that
the
shows
original
different.
question I asked you
I
is,
have data.
okay, if you have data to disprove that, that's totally fine. But the question I asked you was, what is a sanctuary city?
I literally answered it.
No, you just said
you want me
Los
to read?
Angeles or places
literally
where people
said-
migrate to. You didn't tell me what a sanctuary city actually is.
I literally explained it, brother.
Okay, well then can you explain it again? Because obviously I didn't catch it.
Okay, so sanctuary cities basically incentivize policies for undocumented immigrants, immigrants who want to seek better opportunities, and they send them to places like Chicago, New York, Los Angeles.
Well, sanctuary cities can't send people to their own cities. Okay, so that doesn't make
actually
any
do.
sense. Okay, you can't. A
What do you
city
mean? They
can't
create
send people
laws.
from other cities
They
to their
create-
cities. That doesn't make any sense. But let me
No,
go
they
ahead and
send
inform you,
them
okay?
from
Because what a
countries
sanctuary
to-
city actually is, okay, it just means that local law enforcement doesn't cooperate with the federal law enforcement when it comes to immigration. Okay, that's what a sanctuary city was. It has nothing to do with the incentive, like incentives when it comes to migrants, because there's California has a lot more incentives when it comes to migrants, right? But that's across the board, right? Like that's not just Los Angeles, that's all of California, right? So it's not a sanctuary city. Sanctuary cities just has to do with law enforcement and the ability to use federal law enforcement when it comes to when it comes to that, right? So you're not
Wait,
right
so
because when these policies that you're talking about don't come from cities, they come from states.
Yes, and I'm saying we have Americans, especially in California, the poverty rate amongst it's not even black. I wouldn't make it a black thing. Just American citizens are egregious, right? It's like 16% poverty rate amongst black people. I think it's 13 amongst Hispanics. So the thing is, we got people that need those jobs that can get that, but these employers, right, and the Democratic Party that's incentivizing these people to migrate here, they're getting exploited, pennies on the dollar, and then they're not hiring the American citizens for these agricultural, construction, hospitality jobs.
Yeah, right. So we should just punish the companies.
No, we should.
Oh wait, hold on. You just said there's a problem.
Yes, we should.
Because hold on,
We should
hold
punish
on, sir. But you said that companies are exploiting migrants. Okay, companies are exploiting
and it's being
migrants for cheap.
incentivized by Democrats by
Hold
bringing
on.
them over.
I'm still talking.
Sorry,
Okay?
brother.
Yeah. Companies are exploiting migrants. Okay. So instead of being mad at the companies that are exploiting people, you instead are getting upset at the people that are being exploited. You're saying that because people are being exploited, we need to punish the people that are being exploited instead of the companies that are exploiting them.
We should do both. Why we can't do both?
Okay, sure, we could do both, but is Trump doing both?
Well, Trump is not in California. He don't control the state of California.
Well, no, but he does control labor laws federally.
Wait, but what does labor laws got to do with the state?
Because labor
minimum
laws
wage?
are what
Wait,
control.
we're talking about the state minimum wage, which is $16.50 in California, brother.
Yeah, but that has
And
nothing,
people
sir. Labor laws, okay, have to do with the punishment for corporations for exploiting workers. Federal
Why didn't
labor
the
laws do
Democratic
that.
Party do? Wait, why didn't the Democratic Party fix that before Trump got in office? Why are you saying?
And why didn't the Republican Party fix it before Trump got in office the first time? And why didn't so and so? 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 Sir, I don't know why you're
holding
asking
Trump
about
to
all
a
this.
standard you're not holding to the Democratic
I'm not holding
Party.
Trump to any standard, sir. You're the one who brought up
You're
immigration.
asking a question.
Yeah, my
And I'm
question
saying you
is
holding-
if you now my question has nothing to do with Trump. I think that's where you're confused. My question has to do with you. If your problem, yours, not mine, okay? If your problem is the exploitation of workers, then why do you not support more strong policy from the Trump administration that exploits the employers that are exploiting
You're
those
speaking
workers
from a federal
and
standpoint?
not yes, because my banner
I'm
does not
speaking
say
from a state. I
well,
was talking
sir,
about
if you want to talk
California.
about why do you support Gavin Newsom, then I think you're on the
I don't
wrong
support
live.
him. I support Trump because
Okay,
of
then
what
let's
Gavin
talk
Newsom
about the
is
things
doing.
that Trump controls, okay?
So I'm
like the
speaking from a
federal
state
government.
level,
So gotcha. You
brother.
want to talk about Trump, right? But you and how you support him, but you don't actually want to talk about Trump. You actually want to talk about California's government.
Yeah, so I'm saying-
You think that I put up this banner like above my head and all this sort of stuff that says, why do you support Trump?
No, but
Because
you don't
I am here
understand.
to defend what California's government is doing. Okay. California is doing just fine. California is the fourth largest economy on the planet. Okay. They have a governor who is doing
The
freaking
working
amazing
class
shit
in
over there.
California is not doing fine. The working class. in
Yes, there
California is
are
not doing
problems in California. I didn't say everything was
So-
perfect. I didn't say it was a utopia, sir. There actually is a very big problem in California right now with especially lower wage workers, leaving the state and stuff like that
And
because
what
they can't.
happens is-
Sir, I'm still talking.
Sorry,
That they're
brother.
leaving the state and stuff like that because they're getting priced out of California because California is attracting so many high wage earners.
So how are they
sir?
getting
I am
priced out?
still talking. I don't know why you're
my
having
God.
a hard time with this.
Sorry, brother. I'll stay on mute.
Good call. So what I said was, yes, that is a problem. All right. We do have people leaving places like California and low wage workers, but then they're also getting in a whole bunch of high wage workers in there, which is again, raising the prices of things, creating a cost of living issue, which is pushing people out. Okay. I'm not denying that. All right. And I'm not denying that California doesn't have its problems. Of course, California has its problems. Every state has its problems, right? I have no issue with that. Okay. My issue is that we're not talking about every single individual state's, government here. Okay. When you're talking about the exploitation of labor, okay, the number one thing that can fix the exploitation of labor is federal labor laws. Okay. So I am asking you why Donald Trump is going to spend trillions of dollars of taxpayer money, all right, to try to crack down on the people that are being exploited, not the people that are doing the exploiting, and why you support that.
Well, they're not citizens, first of all, so we don't owe them anything. Secondly, right? So Trump can send them back to their country, right?
No. Sorry. I'm sorry. I did ask you a very direct question.
And I'm telling you, we don't owe
Whether
them
they're U.S.
nothing.
citizens or not has literally zero to do
That matters.
with.
What
It
are you
has
talking about?
zero to do with Donald Trump enforcing stricter labor laws.
I'm saying, right? They shouldn't be over here in the first place.
Sure,
for him to
you can believe
enforce
that.
it.
You
There
can believe that,
shouldn't be
sir.
enforcement because they shouldn't
The
be here.
enforcement isn't on
now
them.
you
The
got impulse
enforcement
control.
is on the corporations. I'm
So now you
asking
cut me
you.
off every 20
Yes, sir.
minutes
Because
now.
I like direct answers to direct
And I'm
questions.
literally actually.
You're not. You're
answering.
answering every question except for the one I asked you. Okay. Maybe you
I
didn't
think
hear
the
the
better
maybe
alternative
maybe
is to
you
send
didn't
them
hear
back.
the question the first time, and that's fine. I will repeat it for you so that you can
Okay, repeat it.
directly answer the question. I said if your main concern, okay, is the exploitation of labor, okay, then why are we spending trillions of dollars, okay, trying to go after the people that are being exploited instead of spending that same money making sure that the people that are doing the exploiting aren't doing it.
Okay, so first of all, see what you did was you flipped what I said to try to paint a narrative, right? So people get American citizens get exploited. I'm not complaining about American citizens. I'm talking about non-American citizens getting exploited in the labor force so they won't hire American citizens, right? So I'm not trying to be Martin Luther King for exploitation of labor in the United States amongst all citizens. It's going to happen. But when there are undocumented immigrants that come over here and you want federal requirements and incentive for this group that's not citizens, that's delusional. And then this is my
Actually,
last
I
point.
never stated that. I actually
I
never.
don't even agree with your premise because
Sir,
I'm
you
saying
you
they're
haven't
not
addressed my
citizens.
premise. Okay,
I literally
you
addressed your
haven't
premise.
even gotten into the ballpark of
Oh
addressing my
my God.
premise. Okay, you haven't.
Wait.
You
So
haven't. No, shh, you haven't even tried to address my premise. I am talking. Okay, for the final time, and I'm only gonna do this one more time. Okay, because I'm trying. I
I'll
really
just
am. I
concede.
am
You want me to
really. I
concede? All right,
am.
I'll concede. I
I
agree
don't need
with
you
you,
to
brother. I
concede.
agree.
I don't need you to concede. I am trying to have a genuine conversation with you. Okay, like two adults. Okay. But if you're not going to address what I'm saying whatsoever, then there's no point in having it. If you want to go off talking about why you don't think undocumented immigrants should be here, then that's fine. We can have that conversation.
No, I didn't say they shouldn't.
Okay?
I said they should
If
come
you
over the
think they
correct way.
have no rights in this country, we can have that conversation. I can prove to you through the US Constitution and about 5 Supreme Court cases that they do. Okay? But that's not what I asked you. Okay. So I need you to address what I asked you. And then if you'd like to talk about other things, I have no problem with that, sir. We could talk about every singular aspect of immigration all the way down the line. I have zero problem with that.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Perfect. But I would like you to address one thing, which I have asked you again 3 times. Okay. Why, if your main purpose is the exploitation of workers, do you not spend the same amount of tax dollars, okay, going after the people that are exploiting other human beings that you do is trying to get rid of the people that are being exploited?
That's a valid point. He should focus on that as well, as well as sending them, sending people back, and so they can come back,
Cool.
so they can come back to the United States the proper way.
Fine. Cool. I will take that as an answer. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So can I ask you a question about what you said? Because you said some problematic things.
Sure.
So
What did I
when you
say?
was so you was talking about California and how a lot of people are being priced out and moving, right? American citizens, right? But they found a way to have undocumented immigrants who come from poor backgrounds to somehow find a way to live in California with no issues, right?
With no issues?
So
Where are you getting the no issues thing from?
I'm talking about like the fact that there's people that's been in California for 30 years and getting priced out, but then we got people that are coming over here in mass that's finding ways to get housing in affordable spots. Lets you know the reason why they're
I'm
doing
sorry.
this is because they're
Hold up.
trying to bring in. This is my last point. No, this is the last point. Last point. The reason why they're doing
That's
this
fine.
is because they're trying to bring in a cheaper working class that work
Yeah.
for cheaper labor, which is undocumented immigrants.
Awesome. So
This
where are
is
migrants
why
getting cheaper
this is
housing?
why the
No,
American
sir,
citizens.
can you please let me
Okay,
know
sorry.
where
It's
migrants are getting this cheap
insane.
housing in California?
I'm sorry. What?
Where are these migrants getting this cheap housing in California?
Wait, bro. So you tell wait. So how are these people coming over here and living here, and coming over here in mass and
Sir,
staying here?
sir, first of all, you'd have to talk to me about where they're coming in mass, right? So when you're talking about people that are coming into the United States, like, in mass, right? Especially under the Biden administration, what we
I
did
was talking
have is
about LA. I'm talking about LA still. Let's keep it in LA, California.
you just want to talk about LA. Cool, no problem. So let me be very clear, okay? California has had a significant, especially in LA, okay, because I grew up just south of there, right? Has had a mass amount of immigrants from about every country on the fucking planet since like forever. Right. And California, because of that, because they're a state of migrants, has lots of incentives within California.
Migrants and undocumented migrants are two different things.
Correct. They are.
So I'm speaking
Which,
on undocumented, brother. You're
sir,
speaking
you
on
didn't
people
say, you
that
do
come over
realize
here
that, you
legally.
do realize, sir, when I say migrants, that includes undocumented migrants, right?
Okay, but
Yeah. So I was addressing both of them. So may I finish my sentence now?
I apologize, brother.
Yeah, cool. So What I was trying to say is that California does, because there are a state of immigrants, have different things that, other states don't always have when it comes to migrants, whether that's undocumented or documented migrants, right? But especially when it comes to undocumented migrants, they have things like, that undocumented migrants can get driver's licenses in a lot of cases, right? That undocumented immigrants can get things like I-10s, right? Which is important, right? And that's good because it's good for the economy, right? The migrants in LA, commit a significant amount of money into taxes, state and local taxes within LA, right? They are able to get jobs and actually contribute to our society. And especially actually in the case that we're talking about right now, where a lot of Americans are leaving the state of California to go to other states that are cheaper, right? And all this stuff. Migrants actually aren't doing that, like especially legal migrants, but even some undocumented migrants are actually staying there and working those cheaper jobs, right? Because there's no one else to work them, right? And actually Donald Trump's, immigration policies that, he's going and raiding in LA are actually having detrimental effects on places like Los Angeles, okay? But at the end of the day, the reason why California has those laws and has those rules and has that ability to support both undocumented and documented migrants within California is because California has voted individually to use their taxpayer dollars to pay for that. Okay? These are not federal laws that are being implemented. These are not things from the federal government, okay, that are coming in and being imposed or not imposed by California. California, the fourth largest economy on the planet, if it was to stand alone, all right, has decided with their, just absolute crazy amount of wealth, okay, that they are willing to take in migrants and to be able to support them in a way that other states are not willing to do. And maybe other states don't even have the ability to do. Okay? But if you don't like the way that California their laws are set up and all that sort of stuff, then one, I hope that you're voting in your state and local elections in Los Angeles, because those are the people that are making those decisions. And those votes for things like, laws and money, right, that are going to migrants are things that are voted on publicly. Okay? So you have the ability in California to make that vote and to decide for your state what they spend your tax dollars on. And if you have that big of an infinite problem, like horrific problem with what California is doing with your tax dollars based off of your vote, then I honestly suggest you maybe pick a different state where they're not spending money on that.
So see, I'm glad you said this because this is the issue, right? When you got the homeless crisis, how it is, black gentrification, how it is, and then you got stuff where California is implementing bills where they giving free Medicaid to undocumented immigrants from ages 26 to 41, and they're prioritizing a different group of
It's
people over.
insane.
Hello, what was that?
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, so there's a bill in California, right? So this is about priorities. You got a voting class of black people that's been voting 90% for the Democratic Party since the 60s, right? So whenever there's a place where there's ran by Democrats, which is California, that group of people should be prioritized, right? Based off how they vote and their loyalty to the Democratic Party. But what you're saying is this group of people who's been voting at a 90% clip since the 70s and 60s, they're bringing in a new class that they're prioritizing over a different group. And they're not doing it because they work harder, because people keep saying in the chat, work harder. They're doing it because these people are getting exploited by their labor. They're bringing in a different labor class that's getting exploited for cheaper, right? Especially undocumented immigrants. And when you incentivize, right, when you give
What are you
when
talking
you
about being
incentivize
brought in, sir? What do you mean by being brought in? Who is bringing people in?
the Democratic
How are the
policies,
Democratic policies? What Democratic policy is bringing undocumented immigrants in?
there's 3.5 million
I didn't ask you
undocumented
how many
workers
people
in
were in.
California.
I asked
How
you
did they
what
get over there?
Democratic policy is bringing them in.
Biden has brought. Listen, do you forget? Do you forget what happened in these sanctuary cities when Biden was in office
Sir,
in New York, Chicago?
what policy from Biden?
Abbott,
What policy from
literally
Biden
a
brought them
bus.
in?
Abbott literally brought a bus to New York because under Biden, right?
Those
he
were
was
all
bringing in
asylum
people
seekers. Those
en
were legal
mass.
migrants.
Not all of them. No,
Yes,
wasn't.
every single one of them. It's on Greg Abbott's website.
Okay, I'll concede.
Those were legal migrants. Okay.
Wait, let me look it up
So
first,
what
'cause I don't know.
policy did Joe Biden pass
You know,
that let freaking undocumented migrants in, that
you know,
brought them in.
Democrats is the party of open borders, bro. Stop it. You're gaslighting me right now.
If Democrats are the party of open borders, then how come Joe Biden and Obama both deported more people than Donald Trump did in his last term?
Obama did, but
No, Biden
not
did
Biden.
also. Biden deported 685,000 people just last year. You know that,
How
right?
many people did he bring in?
He didn't
How many
bring in
people came
any
in under
because,
him?
again, sir, you
How many
can't.
people came in under him?
How many people of what status?
All statuses. How many
Of
people
legal
came in
and
under him?
undocumented migrants?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Jesus. Probably around like 7-8 million.
Listen, let me tell you why this is out of pocket right now. There's 50 million people born from in another country that currently lives in America, and that's more than any time in American history.
Yeah,
The
I don't have a
Democratic Party
problem with
has
that.
lost their mind.
But see,
Wait,
you
what?
say that, but I don't have a problem with that. You
Are you
say
cra-
that it's
Wait, what?
you say that as if it's a bad thing. I don't care that there are people that are from other countries that are in the United States. That doesn't
No
bother me.
other country, and listen, no other first world country has this
No
standard
other
of where
first
they
world
bring
country has
anybody.
our GDP either. No other first world country has our military prowess
So
either.
because we have
No
a high
other first
GDP,
world
bring them in.
country has our constitution. No other first world country has a whole bunch of shit that the United States doesn't have.
All right, so let me tell you this statement.
Are we not the? I'm sorry. Are we not the biggest, baddest motherfuckers on the planet?
Do you know the poverty
It's a
rate
yes or no
amongst
question.
American
Are we the
citizens?
biggest, baddest motherfuckers on the planet? Yes or no?
I guess if you're going off
It's a yes or no
the
question, sir.
military. Wait, where are you basing off of? The military
No,
prowess in the African
whatever
continent?
you want to base it off of. Are we or are we not?
What about morally?
Whatever you want.
I mean, I guess yes. I'm an American citizen. I'm proud.
Okay,
Cool.
so if we're the biggest, baddest motherfucker on the face of the planet, then yes, we're going to be doing a lot of things that other countries aren't doing. Okay? We're going to be doing a whole bunch of shit that other countries aren't doing because they can't. Okay?
Okay.
So saying that we have a whole, and especially since this entire country is just immigrants, okay? This is not a homogenous society, right? Like that was like destroyed by, European colonialists coming over and committing a genocide against Native Americans, right? That was the last time that the United States was actually homogenous, right? So because of that, this entire country is immigrants. Okay?
No, that's not true. I'm descendant of slavery. We're not immigrants.
Yeah, you were just forced immigration.
No, what? Oh my God, that's
You
not.
were
That was
forced
bad.
immigration. You were
No, it was not
African
forced
immigrants were
immigration.
taken on boats, brought over here, and forced into
We're
slavery.
not immigrants. Are you crazy?
What's the definition of an immigrant?
You tell me.
Okay, it's somebody that moves from one country to another. Okay.
Move willingly, not
No,
forcibly.
that's why
different.
I literally just said an involuntary immigrant.
Black Americans are not immigrants. We're not descendants of immigrants. We're descendants of enslaved chattel slavery. We wasn't considered citizens until 1865.
I completely agree.
brother. So
But
where's
is
the
your
immigration at?
does your
And we got indigenous roots as well.
does your lineage trace back to a Native American people here?
Yes.
So you're not from Africa because you just said you were.
Black Americans is an amalgamation of a bunch of groups. We got European mix. We got indigenous mix, we got
Black
African mix.
Americans doesn't have to have anything to do with Africa or any type of your ethnicity. You're the one who said it.
Okay, so I'm telling you because we have our own ethnogenesis. We're an amalgamation of a bunch of
Black
groups.
isn't an
which doesn't make us-
ethnogenesis.
Black American is an ethnogenesis.
Black
That's an
American is
ethnicity.
not an ethnogenesis whatsoever.
Yes, it is. Do you know what ethnogenesis is?
Ethnogenesis requires a place.
Yes, it's just called United States is the place.
Oh, okay. So you're creating a place.
Bro, do you know what ethnogenesis is? It's a group of people that created their own distinct culture, right? And we're far removed from the culture in Africa. And
We didn't
created
create
own
our culture.
Are
Our
you Black
culture was
American
created for
descendants of
us.
slavery? Are you Black American descendant of slavery?
Yes, absolutely.
How?
You mean how?
Like, is your mother who's
It'd be my mother's side, yes.
Was you raised by your father? Or are you like Obama?
I was actually raised by my mother's parents, my grandparents.
Okay, well, shout out to you. Well, you Black American, so I'm gonna have some type of respect for you. All right, so my last thing, speaking of Black Americans, right? Do you know that they did a study at Harvard in 2013, 11, I think, right? Where it said that any place where you see an influx of immigration, right, you see a decrease in Black men in the labor force and an increase in Black men in mass incarceration, right? So what's going on is we know that the two people that get exploited the most is people in prison, right? Because they privatize prison, and undocumented immigrants, right? And the fact that people are glossing over the egregious things, right, that undocumented immigrants go through. They get exploited by the cartel. The cartel makes $16 billion a year by making them pay $8,000 to cross the border. They use them as mules, and if they don't pay them the $8,000, right? They do egregious stuff to their families, right? And then they come to the United States just to get
Sure, I
exploited.
think that's
And you
horrible.
guys are so blinded by the
Who's you
Democratic
guys?
Party. Sorry, brother, I got triggered. Not you guys. A lot of people in the chat are so blinded by
Sir, I don't
this
give a fuck about the
cult-like.
chat. Sir, nobody in my chat, at least people that follow me, okay, are for the exploitation of migrants. Okay. But see, that's not what we're
But they
dealing
get
with here.
exploited, though. You know that, right?
Of course they get exploited, and I am very much for the stopping of their
So they
exploitation.
should come over
But
here legally.
but exploiting them more because they were exploited doesn't fix the problem. Okay, saying,
How you a
oh,
descendant
they're
of slavery,
exploited.
bro? And you're
What you're saying is,
justifying
hey, they were exploited. This is absolutely horrible that migrants in the United States are exploited. So what we're going to do to fix that, that exploitation is what we're going to do is we're going to create special prisons in the Everglades, call it Alligator Alcatraz, put them in horrific conditions. Okay, and that's how we're going to fix their exploitation. You know what we should do to people that are exploited? We should send them to South Sudan, even though they're from South America. We should send them to Africa in war-torn countries. Okay, countries that are filled with famine. That's what we should send them to stop their exploitation. You know what? They are being exploited. So what we should do to fix that exploitation is we should send them to well-known terrorism prisons. Okay, for them to be tortured and sexually exploited in terrorism prisons. We should do that to stop their exploitation. How does that make sense?
As a person so your mother's side is descendants of slavery.
Answer
in the
the
United
question,
States.
dude. I don't want to go down the how black
All
are
right,
you
brother.
train. Answer the question.
No, I consider you black. I don't have a problem with that. The point is this, right? If they don't come over here undocumented, right, they wouldn't have the issues that they're having. If they come over here the proper way, right? Because I don't have a problem with immigrants. Of course, people need to come over. We need these people to help with the economy, right? But when people come over here and get exploited, and as a person that's a descendant of slavery, right? These democratic policies incentivize these people getting exploited because they're open borders. So they
Sir,
come
you
over
have
here.
yet no stop. I asked you
Sorry.
like 5 minutes ago what policy is open borders under Biden, and you refused to answer the question.
All right,
So
let me
why
get
don't
it
you answer
real
now?
quick. Hold on.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and do that?
Hold on, let me get my computer. Hold on. Give me a sec. Because what you're not finna do is gaslight me, brother.
That's
Hold
all
on.
you've been doing this whole time. I asked you a long time ago.
All right, hold
long
on.
time ago to
That's easy.
tell
Hold on,
me
brother.
what the open border policy was from Biden.
All right, no problem, brother. Watch this, because it's not just Biden. We're talking about the Democratic Party is a party of open borders.
Sure, let me know which one it is.
All right, cool.
Christy,
Give me
thank
a
you
sec.
so much. I did see your PayPal yesterday. Unfortunately, I wasn't logged into that. I didn't see it until after I got off. But Christy, if you're here, thank you so much for that PayPal yesterday. I really
Hey, I'm
appreciate
gonna
that.
keep it real with you, bro. I'm gonna send you a galaxy too, because you're the first leftist that can actually have a conversation without crashing out that I interacted with on TikTok. So let me send you a galaxy, brother. Hold on, give me a sec while I get this information. Hold on, brother.
All right. Well, get information first, Galaxy later. But I do appreciate that.
Insane.
Thank you. We're going to go through some super chats while he's trying to figure out which open border policies Biden passed. Tobin, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. It says there's only about 1.8 million undocumented workers in the entire states. Also, Cali is not even on the top 10. Thank you, Jerry, for the galaxy. I appreciate that. Also, Cali is not even in the top 10 states with the highest poverty rate. California is not in the top 10 with the highest poverty rate. 1.8 million undocumented immigrants is the estimate under the Biden administration. Though Pew Research Center and Council for Immigration Reform put the amount of undocumented immigrants in the United States around between 11 and 12 million. 1.7, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8 is about the number that came in under the Biden administration. So, but
It's insane.
yeah, somewhere around that range. So that's what we're talking about. But yeah, no, there's not 3 million undocumented immigrants in Los Angeles. That's crazy. Okay. But thank you so much, Tobin. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is very, very nice of you. RJ said, I wish people would stop treating this like a sporting event. It's a discussion of different policies. There is no score, only an exchange of ideals. I completely agree, RJ. I completely agree. Thank you so much for that. Tobin, wow, the victim blaming that this gun is wild. Get him, Paul. Thank you, Tobin. I really appreciate. I thought I was the only one that noticed that. Can we get a huge W's to chat for Tobin for the $20 and then the $10 super chat back to back? Can we get him for that? I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And very earthy said, I do not like Trump either. Well, I would hope not, but thank you so much for the Canadian dollars. I really appreciate that.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, what's it at?
All right, I'm about to post it in the chat. Here's
I
the
don't need
link.
to post. You can just
So
tell me
this
what
is
it is.
Biden.
What is it? Hello.
All right, my bad. So this is from migration.org. I forgot you can't talk while you go on.
Insane.
I forgot you can't talk while you go on.
Migration.org.
It's migrationpolicy.org.
Oh yeah, I know that website.
And then the title reads, Biden at the 3-year mark, the most active immigration presidency.
Didn't ask that. I asked for a policy name.
Okay, so
Y'all, make sure you guys are hitting that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Make sure you turn those notifications on so you know when I go live and I post content. I really, really appreciate y'all.
all right, one of the policies is the pathway to citizenship.
Pathway to citizenship. Okay, and how does that bring migrants in?
So this thing called the Dreamers,
Yep, very familiar.
DACA recipients.
Yep.
What it does is, hold on, because I ain't got my other phone on me, so I got to keep going back and forth.
Yeah, none of those are policies that bring migrants into this country. Okay, those are for people that were brought here at a very young age, or people that were born here, or people that, you know, that whose parents immigrated here and they were born here when they were very young, people who spent a certain amount of time in the United States. None of those policies have a single thing to do whatsoever to do with Biden opening the border. And let me be very, very clear that DACA was around well before Biden or Trump.
Why all the sanctuary cities are in democratic cities?
Because cities are inherently democratic.
No, I didn't ask you. You good. I like you, bro. You ain't gonna lie. You gonna run for president, bro. Cause you like the modern day Obama, bro. I'll vote for you, bro. But let me ask you a question again, brother. Why are all of the sanctuary cities ran by Democrats?
Because cities are inherently democratic. That's why. But anyways, I just realized how long I had been talking to you. This is like absolutely crazy. Like I have been talking to you for way too long. Yeah, but cities are inherently democratic, where you put a lot of people together that all have different views. Okay, they tend to vote Democratic because Democratic policies tend to favor people of different cultures and different societies, right? At least currently, right? So yeah, cities are just inherently democratic. I think probably the top 10, 20 cities by population in the United States are all democratic cities.
It's insane.
Yeah, because more people means more diversity, and more diversity means more democratic policies. That's pretty simple.
But diversity comes at the expense of black people based off that Harvard study. But I appreciate talking to you, bro. I'll pull up another time. Peace and love, bro. And I wish your mother's side the best. All right, brother? Only your mother's side. Thank you.
Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate y'all. You guys are absolutely awesome today. Y'all, we're gonna keep this thing going. I didn't realize how long I'd been on. I try to keep my conversations under like a half an hour for each person. I didn't realize how long I had been talking to them. Tobin, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, sorry, I meant there's only 1.8 to 1.9 million in Cali. That actually makes complete sense. That actually tracks 100%. So thank you so much, Tobin, for that correction, because I was a little bit confused there, but I do really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Pedro, thank you so much for the 5 whatever that currency is. Why don't conservatives support ending U.S. imperialism and the American dream propaganda in Latin America? It's a great way to solve this problem because they have to fight communism. Okay? They have to always fight communism. All communism is bad. All socialism is bad. Unless Donald Trump does socialism like he's doing with Intel right now, then it's okay. Plus, those people in South America, they're brown people, right? The Republicans would never want them to actually like rise up, right? That would be horrific. Thank you so much, Pedro. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Megan, thank you so much for dude, can we get L Megan in the chat? I need L Megan in every chat right now. Okay. L Megan's in all the chats. All right, we're about to open up these phone lines. Keep this thing going. Tara, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. Oh, who won the neck decorating contest? What? I don't even know what that means. It was a tie. It was a joke. Who won the neck decorating contest? It was a tie. Ha 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 ha. So stupid. And Latoya, thank you so much for the $5 over on Cash App. Said I could end my birthday listening to you. I'm glad I could end my birthday listening to you. Happy birthday. Can we get happy birthdays in the chat for Latoya too? Happy birthdays in the chat for Latoya. 100%. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Latoya. Happy birthday to you. And many more. I will not quit my day job. I promise you guys. All right, don't worry about that. Hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. I appreciate you. Hello, how are you?
What up, Polly? Is your Prime Minister Chris? What's up, brother?
Insane.
It's who?
This is Brent. I always call you.
Oh yeah, I had to kick you off. You said some horrible stuff last time you were on my live. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you? I can't complain. I hope everything is good with you as well.
I'm surviving. How old are you?
25.
Awesome. You support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Kind of weird, but I mean,
Why is that weird?
like, why is it weird? Like, why is it weird for you, or why is it weird just for everybody?
No, like, I mean, why is it weird that you think it's weird that I support Trump?
Well, I mean,
I'm
just
not
like as a normal human being, right? Like, I think it's pretty weird to support someone who's like a felon and who's been adjudicated of, sexually assaulting a woman and who defrauded a children's cancer charity and like all this stuff. But like, if you want to be specific about you, especially as like a 25-year-old, it's very weird that you supported Trump. Or, support Trump, considering he's added, more debt in the amount of time that he's been in presidency than any president that's ever existed, literally leveraging your future, all right, for the present, but only the present for rich white people that are currently rich, you know what I'm saying, and wealthy people now, and literally taking away your entire future to do that. He's literally gutting things like Medicaid, like things that, you would possibly have the ability to take advantage of later on in life, right? We've already, heard about different, we're like his deportation policies are doing things like gutting Social Security, right? And taking a whole bunch of money out of Social Security, which is going to be something that you're going to need to tap into like later on in life. Right. Like, and there's just like a whole bunch of things that he's trying to undo, things like, climate change policy. He pulled us out of the Paris Climate Agreement. That's going to affect, the rest of your life and, how you live, everything. So just as a 25-year-old, it's just very strange to like support somebody that just completely, is leveraging your entire future right now.
Right. And, everybody's entitled to their own opinions just like you are, so am I. But my question to you is, what makes you that he is only focusing on white people?
Oh, I mean, you want me to talk about like his 50 years of racism, or do you want to talk about like his current stuff where he has people like Nick Fuentes and David Duke, like, over, into like Mar-a-Lago, like known white supremacists? Or do you want to talk about specifically where, his policies are specifically benefiting, like CEOs and large stockholders of major corporations in the United States, which are predominantly white and male?
I I think maybe we should go into the point where you mentioned the 50 years of racism, because I remember him taking a picture with Mike Tyson, Oprah Winfrey, Snoop Dogg, and all these other black celebrities, and nobody called him racist until he started running for president as
Yes,
a
he did.
Republican.
He got literally sued for unfair housing practices in the 70s for not renting apartments to black people.
So you gotta bring the receipts on that, my brother. You gotta bring the receipts.
You want me to bring receipts on that? Because if you want me to pull up receipts, I'm letting you know right now. I'm about to bring up a lot more receipts than that.
Okay, well that's neither here nor there.
Okay, well that's fine, dude. If you really want me to bring up receipts, I can. But I'm telling you right now, it's probably like it's not gonna be good for you when I do that. I'm just saying. I was trying to warn you, but that's fine.
No, I don't know. Because I'm sure there's receipts on the other side of the spectrum as well.
Sure. What receipts do you have?
Well, what I wanted to discuss with you is how you feel about the crackdown on Washington D.C.
No. That's not what I asked you. What receipts do you have to go against my receipts of racism?
I wasn't gonna bring up race. You brought race up. I don't think race is an issue right now, because there's
I brought up all sorts of things. You chose to focus on race.
There's numerous black and brown people, black, brown, Asian, everything in the spectrum. They're all can be successful in America. So I don't think racism is in a big.
So you don't think racism exists in this country?
I didn't say it doesn't exist. I said it's not something that's going to hold you back. If you're black, if you're brown, you can still do whatever you want to do.
Gotcha. Well, then can you please explain to me why, there was a study done, just like not too long ago, where people were, they filled out the exact same qualifications for job applications, and they sent them all to companies, and the people with black sounding names that they made specifically black didn't get a call back, and the people with not black sounding names did.
Okay, so nowadays, if you apply to a college and you say you're black or you're brown or you're whatever, you're more likely to be accepted or to.
And why was that case?
It's affirmative action.
Affirmative action was overturned by the Supreme Court. Affirmative action no longer exists.
DEI, affirmative action, it's all the same.
No, DEIA is not the same as affirmative action. Affirmative action is what you're talking about, and affirmative action is over. Do you know who the number one benefactor of DEIA is?
It has to be black or brown people.
It's white women. You know who the second highest freaking benefactor of DEIA is?
Okay, but let's go.
Do you know who the second highest benefactor of DEIA is?
Black people.
Veterans.
Well, as they should be. And veterans could be
black. But you're trying to get rid of it, sir. What are you talking about? You said as they should be. What are you talking about? That you're advocating for it being removed.
No, I was saying race shouldn't be an obstacle for you to get over. And nowadays, it's not.
Of course it is.
Hundreds of people who are successful who are black or brown. Race is really not
saying that there are people that are successful that are black and brown does not mean that there are not hurdles. You do understand that, right?
I'm not saying, but the hurdles that black and brown people meet are not there off from the government. They're there from their own people.
Of course they're there from the government. Our entire criminal justice system is systematically racist.
Like if you're black or brown and you grow up in a black or brown neighborhood, the people who are trying to stop you are also black or brown.
Sir, even if they are black or brown, okay, that doesn't change the fact that our system is inherently racist. Okay, it doesn't change that. If the entire system around the law is inherently racist, okay, then whether the cop that picks you up is black or white doesn't change the system.
Oh,
okay,
that's not what I mean. I mean, like if you're gonna get killed, if you're black or brown, and I'm brown, so if you're black or brown growing up, you're more likely to be killed by a black or brown person. I'm not talking about the police.
Is this some backhanded black on black crime type of argument?
So you're saying that
if you're white, do you know who you're most likely to be killed by?
probably
Yeah,
another white
it's a
person.
white person. Yeah, because people are more likely to be murdered by people in the same areas in which they live. And considering white people can tend to live with more white people, and black people have lived in around more black people because of things like redlining in the United States, which again was a specific racial line that was drawn within the United States, right? You are more likely to be killed than the people that you are in proximity with. Yeah.
Okay, but so like
But
say
the
in the
but
city,
let me be very clear that the reason
like
why
Chicago.
you're in that proximity was because of the US government.
No.
Yes, redlining is the reason. Okay? Not allowing, okay, historically, and I don't mean historically like, you know, like Nero or Jesus, right? I'm talking about recent history in the United States did not allow for things like loans to be given to black people in certain areas, and for black people to be able to own homes and own property in certain areas, right? They tried to conglomerate all of the black people into very specific areas, right? And so now that you know that wealth has been carried down and carried down and carried down, we have not in any way close close to way actually started to reintegrate in within those societies in order to make it where racial mixing has been has become a thing when it comes to housing as much as it should be. So yes, white people are more in the proximity of white people, black people are more in the proximity of black people, and you're most likely to get killed by people in which you are in which you are close proximity with.
No, what I think you're referring to is the highway line. So when they used to build highways or freeways, they used to build them in the middle of neighborhoods, and on one side there would be colored people, and on the other side it would be white people.
No, that's not what I'm referring to at all.
Well, this is a true thing. So they used to build freeways or highways, and on one side of the highway there would be projects, and on the other side.
Sir, are you black?
What do I sound like?
I don't think that anybody sounds like anything. I'm asking you a question.
Okay, so what does it matter?
Because if you are and you don't know what redlining is, I would very, very much encourage you to go look at it. He said colored. He said he was colored. Okay, well that's weird.
Call it red. Where you come from, they call it red line. Where I come from, they call it the highway line. I don't know where you're from.
Because what are you talking, sir? What is redlining?
What exactly I'm trying to tell you. So they would build freeways or highways, and they would build it in a straight line.
Wrong.
And on one side it would be. This is exactly why.
That's not what redlining is.
Well, you can call it what you want, but
that's not calling it what it is. That's not what redlining is. Okay.
Okay, but
that's literally like me being like, "Hey, see this Gatorade bottle? I'm gonna say that this Gatorade bottle is green and grows outside in my front yard, and I mow it every week." And you'd be like, "Oh, well, you can call it what you want." No, it's just not the thing. It's just not the thing. You're describing something that is not the thing. Okay, because redlining has nothing to do with roads or highways. It has to do with financial practices.
Okay, so where I'm from, they use the highway.
Where is that, anyways?
So that on one side of the highway.
Where are you from?
Poor people. I'm from California.
What part?
On one side of the highway, there are low income neighborhoods, and on the other side of the highway, there are not low income neighborhoods. It's not.
What part of Cali are you from?
I'm from LA. So this is
like actual LA, or are you just like claiming LA?
It's insane.
San Bernardino.
You're from San Bernardino? Oh, okay. Well, I know where you're from. All right. Grew up very, very close to there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's not what they call it there. Okay. So you're literally making up stuff because I grew up literally less than a half an hour from San Bernardino. Okay. So that's not what they call it. Okay. And redlining practices are literally very prevalent in places like California, and I don't know what you're talking about, because redlining is a practice by banks where they denied loans and mortgages and stuff like that to black people in certain areas. Okay, it has nothing to do with where the highways or the roads are. Okay.
No, but you're talking about bank loans. I'm talking about whole neighborhoods.
You're right. I am talking about bank loans because I'm talking about redlining, which is the whole conversation, sir. The whole conversation is about redlining, and the entire thing of redlining is bank loans and mortgages. So you are correct. I am talking about that, and I've been very specific that I am talking about that. I don't know where you're confused at. Okay?
But you said in the beginning, you said, do you support Trump? Do you not support Trump? I said I support Trump, and then you brought up race. And I was like,
no, sir. I brought up 15 different things. You chose to focus on the race part. Okay, sir. You chose that. All right. I didn't choose that. Okay. I bring up a whole bunch of different things because you know what it is, sir. Because it's very telling. Okay. When I bring up a whole bunch of different things. Okay. And then you pick one of them. Okay. It is very telling on where your mind is at. All right. It's the reason why when I open conversations and people ask me about this type of stuff, I am very, very broad in what I open up because I want to know where you're headed. I want to know what you want to talk about. And of all the things that I talked about, right, when it came to Donald Trump, I talked about Donald Trump being sexually assaulting someone. You didn't want to talk about that. I brought up Donald Trump being a criminal. You didn't want to talk about that. I talked about Donald Trump. I talked about Donald Trump defrauding a children's cancer charity. You didn't want to talk about that at all. Okay. Then I talked about everything from him adding the most amount of debt to the United States. You didn't want to talk about that at all. Okay. I talked about him ending Medicaid. You didn't want to talk about that. I talked about his deportation practices, getting rid of your Social Security. You didn't want to talk about that. The one little part in there about race, you are hyper focusing on, and you're telling me that I am somehow freaking focusing this on race. No, sir, you're focusing this on race.
No,
okay? You are focusing this on race.
I literally told you I wanted to talk about the crackdown that's going on in Washington, D.C.
But, sir, those aren't any of the things that I brought up, were they? Fine. Let's talk about it, sir. Let's talk about it, sir. It sounds like you're finally done talking about race. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the crackdown in DC. Why are you such a fan?
Because you're saying like, okay, I was just literally asking you. I said like this is the topic that I want to talk about, and you.
Sir, I'm opening it up. Go talk about it. What you waiting for? Okay. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Let's go.
Okay, so I personally feel like that was a good move, and a big debate that's going on right now is should he expand the same move to different cities like Chicago and Oakland and different cities that are having like big problems with crime. When we see in Washington D.C. like there's a lot of homeless encampments that have been cleared out, and all these different crime levels like homicide and carjackings and robberies, they're all down crazy percentages. So that what is
crazy percentage?
I think they said that ever since the crackdown started, there hasn't been not one homicide.
Sir, crime was at a 30-year low before he sent them in. Okay.
No,
I'm not asking your opinion on that. That was information that I was just giving you. Okay. So crime was at a 30-year low in DC. Okay. Actually, freaking like homicide rate, Washington DC doesn't rank in the top. I don't believe even 20. Like violent crime, it didn't rate even in the top 20. It didn't do any of those things. And also on top of that, he brings in the National Guard, which, let's be very honest with you, doesn't have any type of law enforcement ability. And he stationed them in places like Union Station. He's stationed them in places like Soul Cycles and all sorts of stuff. He's not even stationing them at the place where the majority of the crime happens, right? Because there is crime in DC. I'm not denying that. Every major city in the United States has crime, right? And crime in major cities is always higher than crime in more rural spots. That's not surprising or whatever. So my question is if Donald Trump wanted to really stop crime in DC, and DC has the literal highest, and I mean literal highest concentration of federal law enforcement, people that can actually stop crime in the United States, why did he send in the National Guard, who has no ability to stop crime, because that's not their job. They don't have the ability to do that under the Constitution, right? Why do you send in people that have no law enforcement ability into areas in which the crime was not the highest?
So you're saying they don't have any law enforcement abilities.
Correct.
If you look at what just happened.
What happened?
All the numbers went down.
What numbers? And where can I find these numbers?
Homicide percentage. Look it up.
Homicide percentage in the last 3 weeks. We don't have numbers for that, sir.
Well, there hasn't been not a single homicide since the National Guard was sent to Washington, D.C.
Cool.
And just recently, I think yesterday.
So is your plan for this to just leave the National Guard in D.C. forever?
No. The mayor of D.C. just came out, I think yesterday or the day before, and she said originally she did not agree with what Donald Trump was doing. And she just came out, I want to say yesterday, it might have been the day before, but she just came out and said that what he's doing is a good thing. And
sir, that's totally cool. If the mayor of D.C. wants to say that Donald Trump is doing a good thing, I have no problem with that. The mayor can say whatever they want. I'm looking for statistics. I don't go based off of what people say. So where's your statistic off of like 3 weeks that there's not been a single homicide? Was there a homicide 3 weeks before that?
Yeah, I'm sure there was. Or else why would they start the record after that? Like you said, like you have to give time for these things to come out. But
gotcha. So how much time do I need to give them?
We'll say what it's been like a couple of weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see a homicide right here from 2 days ago in DC.
Nah, bro.
Yep, up on the screen.
Well, did you? Well, I don't know her name, but there's an Asian reporter that goes to speak at the White House, and she said that she got like assaulted back in, I don't know how long ago it was, but she said she was assaulted and she got pistol whipped and robbed. And then she was not even a fan of Donald Trump, and I forget her name.
Sir, I do not care about these little anecdotal stories that you're talking about. And not to be offensive, I just truly don't care. Okay, if you're saying should crime be stopped, I 100%. Sir, the argument, sir, listen. The argument is not whether crime should be stopped. The argument is whether what Donald Trump is doing is stopping crime. Okay.
Preventing.
Yes, and it's not doing that because there was literally a homicide in DC 2 days ago.
Okay, so if it wasn't that, how many more would there have been? So
I'm sorry, Miss Cleo. Do you have a crystal ball to how many there would have been?
Okay, so
there was 3 months in January under the Biden, 3 weeks in January under the Biden administration where there was no homicides.
So what about Chicago?
What about Chicago? Chicago doesn't rate in the top 10 in violent crime or freaking gun violence in the United States either.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
Everybody knows there's always multiple homicides, drive-bys, shootings, mass shootings in Chicago. Chicago is well known for that.
No. Chicago is well known to a bunch of Republicans who never look up the stats for that. Okay, but in reality, it's just simply not true, sir.
No, it's not. It is true. I know people from Chicago. There's people who flee Chicago because of the crime out there.
Yeah, sir. Do you have a stat for that? Do you have a data source for that?
I have multiple. I don't.
All right, cool. Well, I have just a chart up for everybody else to see, where you can see the cities with the highest crime rate per 100,000 in 2024. And it is Memphis, Portland, Detroit, Seattle, Baltimore, Denver, Nashville, Philadelphia, Houston, and San Antonio.
So St. Louis and Chicago are on there. Then that's a false.
I did not say that St. Louis or Chicago is on there. Would you like me to pull up more sources? Because I can pull up, probably about 50 different sources that all show that Chicago and DC, neither of those are on the list.
Man, that sounds, bro. I don't know where you're getting your numbers from. Everybody knows Chicago is crazy.
Here's U.S. News right here. Let's see how long. This one has more than 10. Let's see how far we get it. Memphis, Oakland, St. Louis. There's one. Baltimore, Detroit, Alexandria, Cleveland, New Orleans, Monroe, Pueblo, Anniston, Little Rock, Myrtle Beach, Tacoma, Birmingham, Atlantic City, Camden, Springfield, Albuquerque, Kansas City, Louisville, Kentucky, Canton, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Milwaukee, Minneapolis. Oh, I guess it ends at 25, and still no Chicago. That's weird. That's weird. Sure, maybe I can pull up another source. Let's try to. Maybe you need 3 sources in order to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like you're just full of shit, bro.
Well, yeah, you can say I'm full of shit, but at the same time, I'm literally putting it on the screen for everybody to
Like
see. So,
on there,
it's that's totally fine. Like that's fine. Let's see. I pulled up the next source down the list. You ready to go down that one? All right, cool. Top 20 most dangerous cities, right? Let's see. Memphis, St. Louis, Little Rock, Minneapolis, Detroit, Kansas City, New Orleans, Cleveland, Birmingham, Houston, Milwaukee, Orlando, Baltimore, Atlanta, Stockton, New York, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Miami. Oh, that ends the list at 20. Damn. You know what I didn't see up there either time? Any of these times was Washington, D.C. or Chicago. I didn't see any of those. You know what I did see? You know what I did see up there, like super heavy on like every single list, which was crazy, was Memphis. Memphis was really high on there. Memphis, the state where all of their gun laws are ran by Republicans. That's pretty crazy. And you know what else I saw up there? Like a lot was Birmingham. Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham, like this super red state of Alabama with their very loose gun laws, like good guy with a gun, like all that sort of stuff. Like it's crazy how their cities are still, super high on the gun rate.
You also mentioned Stockton, California. There's no way.
I mentioned Stockton on one of my list. I listed Birmingham and Memphis on every single one.
There's no way that Stockton, California has more murders or drive-by. I don't even know what statistics you're looking at, but there's no way that that is a more violent city than Chicago.
Sir, I'm like super sorry. Okay?
Bro, I've been to Stockton.
So have I, sir. I've been to a lot of those cities on that list, to be completely honest with you. Okay?
Where?
But
because my auntie lives in Stockton.
Congratulations. Would you like me to bring your aunt a cookie next time I'm there?
That bad. Chicago is one of the worst cities in America.
Look, I'm super sorry. Okay? I'm super sorry that you have literally just been like completely like indoctrinated with this idea. Okay, that Chicago is the worst place ever. I assume that the Republicans like talk about this because of Obama and like all that sort of stuff. I get it. Okay, but there is literally not a single statistic anywhere, from a single. I'm not even talking about legitimate source, like a single source that's even like slightly legitimate that says that Chicago is this high in crime. It's actually, you want to tell me like the 3 like highest rates of crime by state? You want to tell me what states those are?
Probably St. Louis. I know St. Louis is up there.
Nope. It's Louisiana, Mississippi, and I believe Alabama.
Oh, that's what. Okay, so what are the I don't want to say the wrong thing. The racial. What's the word? All those places are black. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
I'd like to be very clear that you are the one, again, who told me that I was talking about race and that I wouldn't stop. And I'm not talking about race whatsoever, and you just decided to bring it back up. But that's totally fine. I mean, we can talk about race if you really want to. You got you got your feelings hurt last time I schooled you on race. But if you want to bring it back up, that's totally fine, dude. But I just want to be very clear that you're the one that's bringing up race. Not me.
All right. I did. What about it? Let's go.
Yeah. What does race have to do, with the fact that people in these states that are run by, Republican lawmakers, right, that have very loose gun laws and all sorts of stuff, right? These are the places, that are not only ran by Republicans, but Donald Trump is not sending the National Guard to these places. Okay. Do you know what these places actually have in common? You're trying to bring this about race, but it's not about race. Okay. The reason why these places have some of the highest crime rates and the highest, especially violent crime rates in these states, right, is because of the poorest states. Okay. Actually, you said you live in California. All right. And actually, a lot of your tax dollars go to subsidize states like Louisiana, states like Mississippi, states like Alabama. Okay. The reason is because all of their Republican policies that they put in make them incredibly fucking poor. All right. The policies that you're advocating for pretty much starve their own people out. All right. And so people like you, like your tax stars in California, have to now go to these states, right, in order so they survive. But poverty creates crime. Okay.
Nah,
That's it. No,
they go for.
Sir, I'm not asking your opinion. There is a direct and immediate correlation. Okay. And that's not just in the United States. That's worldwide across humanity, right? That there is a direct correlation in between poverty and crime. Okay. Because poor people are desperate, and desperate people commit crime to survive or to get ahead or to whatever, they feel at the time. So when you find poor places, they are more likely to commit crime. When you have a high concentration of poor people, that is the place where more crime is destined to happen. So when you have a city, okay, in a poor state, Memphis, Birmingham, Baton Rouge, right? Those places are the places that are most likely to have the highest levels of crime.
So you're saying, okay. So you're saying just because somebody is poor that they got to kill somebody?
Wow, that is the worst straw man I've ever heard in my life.
You were literally talking about
that is crime. Literally the worst straw man I have ever heard in my entire life.
Violent crimes in poor neighborhoods. Just because.
No, that is not what I said. Now I'll try to repeat it for you so that maybe you can understand it this time. Okay.
No, because if I'm poor, if I'm in the brown or black poor neighborhood, I'm gonna rob a white person in a rich neighborhood. Why would I rob another poor person?
Sir, you live in San Bernardino. Okay? You've never robbed someone in your life.
Bro, you sound crazy.
Okay?
You know,
I know tons of people at San Bernardino. Actually, most of my friends graduated from Cal State San Bernardino, okay? Y'all soft as fuck. That's why you tried to claim LA. Okay? Because you're soft.
No,
okay.
I didn't know
so don't try to play like, oh, if I was poor and I needed to rob somebody, I would do this. This is shut up, dude. You don't know anything, okay? You don't know anything about that, okay? You Sarman soft. You Charmin soft, okay, bud? Okay. You like those little bears in the commercial, okay?
All right.
You probably not even from San Bernardino. You're from like Rialto or some shit, aren't you?
Turn into a whole something else.
He's from Rialto, bro. Dude, he's from freaking Highlands, bro. Like he's from Redlands. This is from Redlands. I bet you he's from Redlands. I bet you this dude's from Redlands, bro.
Okay, do you feel better?
Bro, he is. He's from Redlands, yo. I totally got it. He is 100% from fucking Redlands, bro. 100%, dude.
Redlands. On Jesus, my mama, on my daughter. I'm not from Redlands.
Where are you from then?
Bro, I told you.
All right. Oh, okay. Bloomington? Oh, shit. Dude, someone called you up for being from Bloomington, yo.
I don't even... Bro, you sound crazy. So you're trying to make it...
Bro, he's from not Ontario. He's from, what's that spot over there? Rancho Cucamonga. This dude's from where freaking home dude moved to in Friday.
Where are you from?
What like town? I'm originally from Paris.
That sounds like a lot of Eiffel Tower shit going on. You over here trying to clown me where I'm from. You're from the Eiffel Tower, you bitch. Talking about. Over here trying to clown me. I'll be San Bernardino. What the hell you talking about? Oh, you from Paris. You from a French baguette. You
Jesus
from a French
fucking Christ, dude.
You're trying to clown me. It shouldn't even matter where I'm from. It shouldn't matter where you're from. You're the one bringing that.
Yeah, dude. Do you get your phone with you?
You need to take a debate class,
bro. Do you know where? Do you have your phone with you?
At the top of your head. That's
do you have your phone with you?
What the fuck you think I'm talking on?
All right. Well, what I want you to do is I want you to open up Google Maps. Okay.
No.
And I want you to type in this city. Okay. It's called Paris. Okay. It's Perris. Okay. And when you do that, you'll
Fuck.
realize that there is a town named Paris about 20 minutes from where you say you're from. Okay.
I didn't say I'm from San Bernardino. I said I live in San Bernardino.
Well, then it's from where you live. Is that better for you, sweetheart? You don't even know the towns from where you live, okay? Because it's about 20 minutes from San Bernardino, okay? And you think I'm from France, okay? You literally are you literally think I'm from fucking France, and you don't realize that I know where you live from better than you do.
I just moved here. I'm from the Bay Area, but I live in
Bay Area. This dude was definitely on the San Francisco side.
No. I literally just told you I have family in Stockton. Like, I'm from the Bay Area. Everybody from Oakland, they moved to Antioch, Pittsburgh, and Stockton and Tracy.
Insane.
And some people moved to Modesto. But how am I so? I don't know. You said Paris. The only Paris that comes to my mind is Paris. You know the only Paris that everybody thought of if they don't know where you're from. I don't know where you're from. I don't really care where you're from. And you shouldn't care where I'm from. It shouldn't matter. See, that's your problem. You think you know how to debate people, but you really
I don't ever claim to know how to debate or to debate anyone. Okay?
Well, I thought that's what this whole thing was about.
Really? Where does it say it's a debate?
It says, I don't support Trump or...
No, that says, why do you support Trump? But where in here does it say it's a debate?
Well, I was under the impression that it was...
Well, sir, you're under the impression that the Paris that's right down the street from you is in France, okay? I don't think we're too worried about your impressions.
Bro, I didn't know you were from California. I literally just moved to San Bernardino.
Yeah, exactly. I totally understand that you didn't realize that I was going to call you on your own shit. Okay, I totally understand. But
I'm from California.
Dude, Charmin, chill. It's okay. All right? Those bears got to get there someplace, okay? They got to get theirs. All right. But watch out for bears. I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Charmin Ultrasolve off, dude. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Please turn on those notifications so you know when I post new content and when I go live. I really appreciate that. Ogden, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. I'm sorry, I got to read this whole message because I see a whole bunch of words in here. He said, the first brother who called you today should have called in yesterday when you were in a bad mood. I would have loved to get my Miami improv comedy fix on. Dude said he would vote for you. Hello, good work, Paulie. I love your YouTube live. Keep it coming. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. Are you done in Miami? If you're done in Miami, dude, I'm really hoping to do a trip down there next year, early next year. So I'd love to come down there, man. And I want to meet people like that. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that $15 over on PayPal. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Also, we're gonna hit some super chats, y'all. If you guys would like to support the live, again, number one way you can support the live, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate that. And we're gonna move on to we're gonna hit a few super chats. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to support, super chats are open, pay links are open. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Sovereign says socialism for the rich, individualism for the poor. What? I couldn't agree with that anymore. Goodness gracious. That is exactly what the right pushes, especially with all this crap coming out lately. 1000%. Thank you so much, Sovereign. And, I already read this one. That's on me. Megan said Trump was involved in over 4,000 legal cases prior to 2016. How many receipts needed? Yeah, people were like, Megan, I really don't even understand why people even do that, right? Where they're always oh, everybody loved Trump. No, they didn't. Everybody hated that motherfucker. He literally had an entire show about people hating him. I don't know where these people get this idea that all of a sudden, like people, like everyone loved, like hated him, and nobody liked him. He sucked. Sorry, I had to get that out there. C. Scott, thank you so much for the becoming a member. I really, really appreciate that. I'm also really realizing I missed a membership somewhere in there. I feel really bad for that. I'm sorry. If I see you in there, I will gladly call you out. I apologize. I must have missed it somewhere in there, so I really do apologize. I try to hit those as soon as I can. Rye Guy said, love what you do. Wake the fuck up, USA. 100%. Thank you so much, Rye Guy. Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Big W's for Taurus for the 5 gifted memberships. Make sure you guys send a big chat up in there too. If you guys got a gifted from Taurus, I really appreciate that. Taurus, you with the gifted are absolutely just the most awesome person. I swear. Like you are just absolutely such a breath of fresh air with these gifteds. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I checked before I got on to 238 was the number. So we're getting real close to 250. Jake, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, I used to support Trump to a T, but I was so uneducated until I started watching you, and I appreciate your channel. Much love. Thank you so much. That's what this is all about. Thank you so much. I hope that you're not only listening to the stuff that I say, but you're also going out and researching it and, and making sure that, everything I'm saying is accurate. I don't want you to just take my word for it because hell, if you just fall for anything that I say, then you'll fall for whatever somebody on YouTube or TikTok says. So make sure you're fact checking me, making sure I'm right and all that sort of stuff. But I really do appreciate that, Jake. And thank you so much for the support. That really, really means a lot. And Beautiful, thank you so much for another 5 gifted. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for Beautiful for 5 more gifted membership. I think we might actually hit this 250 today. Wow, that is absolutely crazy. I think we're going to actually hit this 250 today. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate that. That is very, very sweet. Big W's in chat for Beautiful for that. Noah, thank you so much for the 500 jewels over there too. Oh my God, that is absolutely so awesome. I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Anthony, thank you so much for becoming a member of the team. I really appreciate that. Oh my God. I think, did that hit it? Did we hit the 250? I think we might have actually hit it. Wow, thank you so much, Anthony. You might have actually been number 250. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And Rhonda, thank you so much for the $2 over on Cash App. Says he went from speaking Harvard to East Side High. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he switched up real quick. Like you want to talk about people code switching? That dude code switched real quick. Oh my gosh, also Beautiful, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, love everything you do, Paulie. The last caller, Miss Cleo, is so young yet so uneducated, and it's really, really sad. He really needs to stop watching Fox News and read, period. That's all I ask from you. That's really all I ask. Turn off the propaganda, Fox News or whatever. Get out there and read. Just crack something, okay? And understand that what you're reading is biased and understand the bias within that. And then find the real truth in it. Noah, I got to flash you back up here. I'm seeing all of these jewels coming through. I got to make sure I flash you back up here. I'm getting a bunch of repeats in there, so I didn't want flash you too much. But thank you so much, Noah, for all of those jewels. I really, really appreciate that so much. Tex said, thanks, Trump administration. God bless America. All right, man. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Swede for Sweden says, Swedish guy here, ready to roast the host. You're ready to roast? Why would you do that? I love Sweden. I say good things about Sweden all the time. Why would you want to? What did I do? Single tier. Somebody Alex said this too in here. Alex said, for filtering bias, read Ground News. That's a really good comment. That is truly a really, really good comment. I really, really appreciate that. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. I do have to mention one thing real quick, okay? And it's not something I was really planning on mentioning. But Micah Parsons to the Packers. God, you have any Cowboy fans out there? I want you to defend that. Can I change the background and have you guys defend that? Can you guys defend your Jerry Jones really is the Trump of owners in the NFL. I just thought I'd let you know that. He truly is the Trump of NFL owners. I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, I'm not a Packers fan. You guys, very, very clear. I am a diehard Chargers fan. Okay, I wish I was a Packers fan. At least the Packers have some, like, have some pedigree. Right? I'm a big old Chargers fan. All right, and I just want to let you guys know. I know. Ryan, I saw Corey crying in my Discord. Okay, I saw, and if I was him, I would do that also. Okay, for you Packers fans. Y'all got it. Y'all got it in there. Okay. No, y'all. The reason the reason why I'm doing that, I am gonna end the live tonight. I think I am. I really haven't slept much the last few days, and I am just getting really tired now. Okay, I am so tired. I believe I'm gonna take a few days off. I believe I'm gonna take a few days off. I think I need it. Yeah, I've just been real tired. And like I said, like I told you guys last night, I'm having a real rough time right now. There's a lot of personal stuff going on in my life. And it's been, I've been having a hard time and all sorts of stuff. So I think I'm going to plan on taking a few days off, trying to get some much needed rest and relaxation. I plan to be back on Monday. Okay. So I plan to be back on Monday. But thank you guys so much for the support that you guys have given. I really, really appreciate that, for all the super chats, all the things to my pay links and all that sort of stuff. I really appreciate that. That is really, truly, truly what is allowing me to take a few days off. Because you guys know I do this as a secondary job and stuff like that. And it does hurt when I have to take a few days off. So all you guys' support, like, truly is allowing me to take a few days off to actually kind of get some, like, self-care in. So I do really, really appreciate that. And thank you guys so much. Okay. If I am on, I will tell you this real quick. If I am on, it will be early tomorrow. But then for sure, I'm taking time off after that. So if I am on, don't come in and yelling at me if I'm on early tomorrow. But yeah, after that, I will be taking some time off. I will not be on tomorrow night. Okay. All right. I love y'all. Hope you all have a wonderful night, okay? And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Love y'all.